My name is Michelle and I'm an alcoholic. I was 23 when I got sober. I'm 31 now.
My name is Miguel and I'm an alcoholic. I was 17 and a half years old to the day when I got sober, which makes me exactly 20 years, 6 months, and 1 day sober.
My name is Rachel and I'm an alcoholic. I got sober when I was 16 years old, my junior year in high school. I am 24 years old now. I'm coming up on 8 years sober.
I am Miles. I am an alcoholic. I've been sober 1 year and 4 months. I was 18 years old.
My first drink, I was probably almost 13. The whole idea was to fit in, just to be popular, and I continued to sort of chase that experience until I got sober. Drinking just allowed me to live the way I thought I wanted to live and kind of be who I thought I wanted to be. Almost all of my alcohol came from shoplifting. I remember consciously always making sure I had at least one bottle for myself.
I had my first drink when I was probably about 12 years old. I felt like I had found the missing piece. As soon as it went down, I really felt like I finally figured out how I was going to be okay in my own skin.
My first drink was summer of 9th grade. I felt like this is the way I was supposed to feel. Powerful and invincible, and I was able to do whatever I wanted. I got drunk at school a lot because it was where I spent most of my time. If I went to school at all, it wouldn't be sober. We'd have parties at my house during the day. It helped take the edge off my anxieties I had of other people. It was really hard to fit in. I'd get into a lot of trouble. It wasn't hard for the cops to pick me up. I couldn't go home. It didn't really matter what the neighborhood was like. It didn't really matter who I was with, just as long as I was guaranteed a drink.
I went to jail at 22 for 6 months. That's where my drinking got me. And that's how I ended up in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. I didn't really know what AA was like before I went to a meeting. And I didn't come to the meeting sober. I was pretty intoxicated. I didn't allow myself to relate at the time. I wasn't ready.
My bottom was pretty crazy. My only way out was to pray to whatever was out there, whatever was willing to listen. And I had never done that before. There's always movies that depict what an AA meeting can look like. There's always that guy with his forehead against his hand and like the booze on the table. That's what I pictured these meetings being filled with.
I got sober in an adolescent facility, and I was made aware that there were specific meetings that were designated as young people's meetings where I could probably meet people my own age. For me, the reason I wound up getting sober was because I just knew that I hated my life and I hated myself. I couldn't exist as I was anymore.
Nobody's making any money off of this thing. There is really no sort of leader. It's basically one alcoholic helping another.
As a result of working the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, I don't even really know how to put into words how I've changed. I'm a completely different person.
I love the person that I've become. I've been able to go back to school. I've been able to hold down a job.
There's no such thing as too young, and I now know people in all parts of the country. I wouldn't still be doing this 8 years later if it wasn't better. It's better.
I got to see the bottom coming up at me fast, and I stopped in time.
If you're a young person and you're thinking about getting sober, call the nearest central office, find a meeting in your area, and there is another way of living. You don't have to continue drinking.